Hello, colors. Welcome to another interesting episode. Welcome to my live video. I think my first live video since I created this channel. And I'm so pleased to have you guys for those who will be here with me to discuss on Xavi Hernandez, of course, which is the biggest news of today, as he has been fired by President Juan Laporta. We are going to be discussing on that in this live video. Of course, what's the reason for that? And where do we go from here? Of course, we already know the new manager who will be coming, even though it is not yet made official. We already know who will be coming. Hansi Flick is, of course, our new Barca boss, even though Barcelona have not made it official as of yet. So in this live video, we are going to be discussing what are we expecting from Hansi Flick? What are we expecting from the new Barcelona from next season onwards? Xavi sacking is no surprise. As a Barca fan, we all were expecting this. At some point, it was like Xavi Hernandez will be or will continue as the Barcelona coach. But honestly, if I'm to be honest with you guys, I feel kind of bad for Xavi because every year we one thing I've realized about this club is they keep on, the way they end with some managers is kind of like embarrassing at times. We see the likes of Ronald Koeman, we see the likes of Kike Setien and so on and so forth. I mean, like Xavi Hernandez, we all knew that he wanted to step down from this post. We know the pressure that comes with this. It's not easy to become a Barcelona coach. A lot of pressure. And I don't honestly don't think Xavi Hernandez saw this coming. He didn't saw this coming. And he decided to say, look, I'm going to step down at the end of the season. But when Laporta and the board said, okay, you know what? We're going to go there and we are going to beg Xavi Hernandez to come back. I mean, many Barca fans, including me, was were like it was so crazy. But the way he has been fired again, like staining his career in such a shameful way, honestly, I would say shameful way. It's a good news for all the colors. I really love the fact that we are going ahead. Of course, Xavi Hernandez had many things wrong. As a fan, I was not pleased with the way you know things were going at times during his managerial career. So, as I said in this video, we are going to be discussing on where do we go from here? What do we expect next season from Hansi Flick? Of course, I would say it is the one of the worst kept rumors because Hansi Flick will be the new Barca boss. But as I said earlier, FC Barcelona have not made anything official as of yet. But as it stands right now, Hansi Flick will be the new coach, and rumors has it that Barcelona will hand Hansi Flick a 1 year contract plus a 1 year optional, which means maximum should be two. It depends on how next season will go or will look like. Of course, we know that it all started when Xavi went to the press conference. I think the game before, I think before the game against Almeria last week, where he tried to be so, I think, realistic about the fact that Barcelona will not be able to compete the way, we all the fans want Barca to compete because financially we are not really there compared to the likes of Real Madrid and so on and so forth. But come on, we know Laporta being a politician himself, he's an optimist at all times and he won't find that funny. But honestly, some people still keep on asking, was that the sole reason why Xavi Hernandez will be sacked as the manager of Barcelona just because he went there to the press conference and said, look, this is a reality of things. I definitely understand why Laporta was angry, but come on, I don't think you should be angry to the level of sacking the manager. Is like, I don't know. I just believe there were other reasons. There were other reasons. I think going across some articles online. I got to this website, Barca Universal, where they gave some four reasons, some four reasons that actually led to Xavi Hernandez being sacked. Of course, that press conference was one of those reasons among many. It was not just the press conference where Xavi went there and aired out everything, being realistic about the whole situation. But of course, there were some other things. They were saying, like, I think they were talking about broken trust as well. They were talking about player management. From Chavez's point of view, he was not managing the players the way the way the board wants. And also, they talked about tactical shortcomings. I mean, this is quite true because tactically, sometimes when I watch Barca matches at times, I ask myself, like, does Xavi really knows what he wants? Like let's take a good example, the game against PSG, the second leg where we were battered 4-1, which was a big shame after we were 3-2 up in the first leg, you know? Like Xavi Hernandez, I think that game showed his inexperience quite a lot, quite a lot. A lot of inexperience. Like you are 2 goals up on aggregate, but you can't keep the lead. Tactically, he has not, I don't think he has been right up there. And of course, and that is, according to this report, one of the reasons why Barcelona had to part ways with him. And also the crisis leadership. Crisis leadership within the dressing room has also been one of the shortcomings of Xavi Hernandez, according to multiple reports. And that has also been one of the reasons why Laporta and his management decided to part ways with the manager. Now let's try to talk about Hansi Flick right now. You know, as my sole focus on this video for us is to discuss on what do we expect from Hansi Flick moving forward. We saw Hansi Flick in Bayern Munich doing incredible. I think I saw one of the best footballing teams ever under Hansi Flick when he was at Bayern, where I think the 2020 season where they went and win the Champions League and they were beating every single body. Like I mean, they were unbeaten throughout that tournament. I mean, they were strong. I think Hansi Flick is a very good coach, even though when he went to the German national team, we did not see a lot of great things from him. But come on, that doesn't mean he can't handle Barcelona. Honestly, one thing that I kind of fear at times is I just hope that Hansi Flick's methods go hand in hand with Barcelona. Because honestly, as a fan, I don't like to hear situations where some coolers or some Barca fans will be like, come on, he's not playing our style of play, stuff like that. Because if Barca fans are excited about Hansi Flick coming in to join Barcelona, because from the look of things, everybody seems so excited now that Hansi Flick will be the new manager of this club. But let's be realistic. It makes no sense that Hansi Flick comes to this club and within a couple of months, we start getting some noise around saying that, look, this guy doesn't play our style. This guy is doing this. Come on. But let's be honest and let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. I think if we are going out there to only look for a coach that wants to play the tiki taka and the stuff like that, then let's forget about it. Let's forget about it. I think gone are those days. So I think if Barca fans are embracing Hansi Flick as their new manager, then they should do so. They should do it well because Hansi Flick is that kind of a manager that plays high pressure. He plays high pressure, high pressing. I mean, the level of hard work, when Hansi Flick plays his own football is crazy. And I think some people could be asking themselves, will Hansi Flick able to handle these very players? Or will Hansi Flick come and say, look, Laporta, I need these players because these players that we have currently, I don't think they're going to play the way I want them to play. But I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know if Hansi Flick is that kind of a manager where he can come and say, look, I can transform this player no matter what. Because honestly, one thing that this Barcelona have been crazily, I think one thing or one of the weaknesses that I've realized about this team is we don't have that physical aggression. And I think that's one of the reasons why in the European competitions we have been so crazily sorry to call this word. I don't want to use this word here, but come on. Physicality in this team has really gone down. I think the likes of Pablo Gavi, who has been for me when he was fit and available, one of the best midfielders that we have in terms of aggression. He's a hard worker. I think those are the kind of players that under Hansi Flick we are not going to see. They're not going to stress. So if Hansi Flick is coming, I think we should expect a lot of different mentality. Because Hansi Flick is not that type of a passing possession type at all times, or Hansi Flick is that kind of a high pressure. Like we see the likes of Jurgen Klopp. I mean, we talk about the German football because German. I think if we look at the Bundesliga, They have play a lot of high pressing and stuff like that. Hansi Flick plays similarly to that. So if he's coming to this club, we should expect a lot of changes the way Barcelona approach games. But I should think that it shouldn't just come like that. I think we should expect that change to come over time. We know Barcelona is a kind of a club that, honestly, we the fans, we are so impatient. We are so impatient. We just have to give Hansi Flick some time. We know it's not easy because, honestly, the players that we have currently might not stick to Hansi Flick's methods, but I hope they do. I hope they do, because honestly, to be realistic, the transfer market is coming close, and I don't know if Barca have that financial capabilities to go out there to get a bunch of players, that will carry this team or will play the way Hansi Flick wants them to play you know. So, as I've said earlier, it's time for us to embrace the reality. We embrace the reality of the way things are right now in football. Things change. Footballing systems change. Footballing styles change you know. And I'm one of those guys who, me personally, I would tell you that I don't want to be like, I believe all the time that we must stick to the Barca philosophy. If we don't stick to the Barca philosophy, we are not progressing. I don't think it should work like, because let's take, for instance, the coach like Ernesto Valverde. For me, it was so unfair when fans were like, when Valverde was still the manager of this club, and we hear some Barca fans will be like, "Look, this guy should get out from this club because he doesn't play our style." And for those who don't remember, Valverde was sacked from Barcelona when he was number one on the table. Barca were leading the table before Valverde was sacked. And at the end of the day, we saw Barca going, I think, second or third at the end of the season. So I think time has passed for us to start talking about, no, we need a coach that must play the style that Barca want to play, or else no way. Because for me, what matters more right now is winning games, winning those trophies. We need that. That's what matters. That's the most important thing, to win those trophies. So I just want to believe that if Hunter Flake is coming, we should embrace a brutal change to this team. I'll say brutal change because the style that Hansi Flick implements is not the style that Barcelona plays regularly. We know that. We know Barca is that type of an attacking, possession-based kind of team from the time of Johan Cruyff, and we don't expect that to be the same all the time. Things change. We just have to look for those formulas to win our games. We just look for those formulas to win our game. So with Hansi Flick coming to this team, we expect Barcelona a change of mentality. Of course, I believe Hansi Flick is that type of a manager that will bring a strong change of mentality to this team. Because right now, what we need from this Barcelona team is a strong winning mentality. We need a strong winning mentality, which we haven't got for many years. We can see in the European competitions, Barca have been embarrassing us back to back. Like every single year, their Barca fans will not be spared. All the time, there will be a night in the Champions League or the Europa League where we see Barcelona crumbling. We are tired of that. Honestly, we are so tired of that. And I just want to believe, and I hope that this appointment of Hansi Flick coming in to be the new coach of FC Barcelona should be a huge change for us. So, I would like you guys to leave your comments down below as I discuss this topic of the new manager and Xavi being sacked. You leave your thoughts down on the comment section on what you think and what do you expect from Hansi Flick as the new Barcelona boss moving forward. Is he going to be a success? Is he going to be a failure? I hope he succeeds. Honestly, I really hope he succeeds. Over the course of the past few days, we have been hearing a lot of rumors about Xavi. And as I said, when the news came out today like a bomb, it wasn't the biggest of surprises. It wasn't the biggest of surprises because it was already written in the stars. But my problem was the way Laporta and his management went about this. Because Xavi have already said he wants to step down some months ago. And honestly, being a club legend himself, Xavi Hernandez never wanted to stain his own reputation as a manager. He's still a young manager. Xavi still has a lot in his career as a manager. And I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. But the way things went about was not the best approach from Barcelona's point of view because why would you say, okay, you go and you say you want to step aside, then you go and beg him to stay? Because first of all, it was so crazy for me personally that Laporta will go out there and say, Javi, please don't step down, come back. We need you back. And just a matter of 2 weeks or so, you are sacking the manager again. I mean, Xavi Hernandez, it wouldn't surprise me that he will be so angry about all this. But for Carlos, it's good news that he has gone because that is exactly what we wanted. We wanted Xavi to step aside so that a new manager would take over, honestly. But we wish him all the best because we have seen a lot of young managers nowadays crumbling, especially when they go for bigger clubs and things don't work well. It's difficult for them to get some good jobs out there in terms of coaching some other bigger teams. We've seen the likes of Lampard, Steven Gerrard, and Xavi Hernandez now, who also left our side, coming to Barcelona, which was a very big step in his career, which for me personally, I wish he could have gone it, take it slowly, maybe going to another club, lower than Barcelona's level and stuff like that. But he just went right up and coached Barcelona, which was a massive risk. And here we are. This is what we are talking about. This is what we're talking about. Because honestly, it's kind of disappointing in the future where we start seeing Xavi Hernandez having interviews like how we have seen previous coaches like Ronald Koeman having interviews, blasting Barcelona about their methods. And of course, that is not what I want my beloved Barcelona to look like. Like a club where each and every manager will come and the way they take and end the relationship is so bad. It doesn't make sense, let alone a legend like Xavi Hernandez. But we hope everything goes well. I just hope that Laporta ended this amicably with him because even though I would still very much understand if Xavi Hernandez isn't pleased about all this. Because for me, he might feel like he's been toyed around because he initially said he wants to go. And of course, rather than leaving, he made a U-turn on his decision after the president said, please stay. And now he's been sacked again. So it's kind of crazy. And I understand him 100% if it's the case where Xavi Hernandez is not happy at all about all this. But let's see how it goes. We wish him all the best in his career ahead. So, of course, right now, the future, of course, talking about Hansi Flick, as I've said earlier, for those who are just joining, you are very much welcome to this video. Please make sure to hit that like button to take it right up. And also subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. I haven't been on this channel for quite a while, and of course, I had a lot of things to do, and of course, a lot of life commitments. For those who have been wondering why I haven't posted a video for such a long time, of course, yeah, am I. And I promise that I'm going to be leaving you guys with the latest updates on FC Barcelona. So, for those who are just joining us, as I said earlier, this live video is just all about Hansi Flick and Xavi Hernandez. What do we expect from Hansi Flick as our new manager? What do we expect him to bring to this Barcelona team that is crumbling every year? This season, we saw Barcelona with zero trophies, no trophies to show off. And it's really, really, really sad. We hope that things change for next season, for the 2024-2025 season. We see a difference. We hope so. We really hope so. So I just want to think that with Hansi Flick coming as the new coach of this club, he should already know the kind of pressure that comes with it. It's never easy to become the manager of Barcelona. A lot of impatience from the fan base, a lot of impatience from the board of directors as well. So I think Hansi Flick is an experienced manager compared to Xavi, and I want to believe that Hansi Flick should know what he expects if results doesn't go our way. Of course, next season definitely. I don't think there's anybody who wants to accept a no trophy or a zero trophy from this club, which brings the next manager under even more pressure, especially when the past season the team has no trophy to show for. Definitely, we need the team to at least take a trophy next season, and that means more pressure for the upcoming manager Hansi Flick. And as of course, as I earlier said, Barcelona have not yet officially appointed Hansi Flick, but that is all speculations, which is definitely, I think, even though it's a rumor, but that is what is happening. It's just left to be an official statement, but it is already clear because there were reports saying that Hansi Flick already, with his representative, have already had a meeting with the Barcelona board about his contract. Because yesterday I saw Fabrizio Romano also talking about the fact that there's some sort of a verbal agreement between Hansi Flick's representatives and the Barcelona board for him to become the next boss of Barcelona. And definitely we are seeing it becoming more of a reality lately as Xavi Hernandez has officially been sacked by Barcelona. Of course, after Barcelona had put out that official statement on their official website. So personally, for me, when we talk about the fact that what do we expect from Hansi Flick, as I've said it over and over again, I expect a Barcelona team with a high mentality, with a winning mentality, which is very important, which has been something lacking. I expect a Barcelona team, to play games without fear. I expect Barcelona team, you know, to play with how can I put it? I expect Barcelona to become that team that brings joy again, especially in the European competitions. It hasn't been friendly at all, and I hope that things get better and better as we move forward. Um, I don't want to believe that this team is not about coaching problems. It like for example, I think Laporta is a good president. Laporta has, for me personally, tried his best to stabilize his team compared to Bartomeu. Because I've come across some Barca fans who will be like, Laporta is making things getting worse. I don't believe so. I believe Laporta is trying to make things better. He took over as president back in 2021 when this club was in a financial mess. And of course, definitely is getting even a little bit better. If we want to compare when Barcelona was some 3 years back, when Bartomeu just stepped down and Laporta taking over, I think things are getting a little bit better. Honestly, we also hope that things get even better in the summer because it's going to be very, very crucial that if Barca have that capabilities to go out there in the summer to bring in those players, you know, then it will be good because we know that one of our limitations, one of our setbacks for the past couple of seasons is the fact that we have the limited players that we want. We shouldn't be a club that is all about noise. Honestly, we are a club of noise, to be honest, and to be frank with you. Because when we talk about noise, when we talk about transfer rumors, Barcelona will be linked with more than 100 players. But at the end of the day, do they have that financial capabilities to back that up? They don't have it. They don't have it. And I'm tired of it. Like I can't count the number of reports I will always make in transfer windows about Barca linked to this or that player. But of course, it's not like it's Laporta's fault. Of course, the previous government of the club messed things up, and right now it's still a complete mess. But of course, I think it's getting better because if Hansi Flick comes as the new boss of this club and he's still unable to get the players that he wants, then that should also be a limitation because I think unless we get the players, we get good players to add to this squad. I'm not saying our players aren't good. We have some good squad there, to be honest. We have good players, but we need to strengthen the squad even more if we are to compete for the big titles, if we are to compete for any trophy. By the way, we need players and we need to sell as well. I think there have been rumors about Rafinha, Frankie de Jong, and stuff like that. But honestly, there are some players that, for me personally, I believe they should be untouchables. Like maybe Frankie de Jong shouldn't go anywhere, Rafinha shouldn't go anywhere. But there are some players I don't want to call names. Barcelona need to buy players, and I also want to believe that if Hansi Flick is coming as the new boss of Barcelona, definitely he will want one or two players. I think Hansi Flick already knows the situation that the club finds itself, and it wouldn't be the biggest of surprises. He knows it, because if he's signing a contract with this club, he should know that if he's coming as a new Barcelona boss, there are some certain limitations. But the difference is he can't go out there and sound it in public like how Xavi did, which cost him his job, by the way. But I think Barcelona will try their best to get it because I think there have been some rumors that there will not be so much of a strict limitations to the transfer market for Barca this summer compared to the last summer or two summers before, where Barca, they barely got any better player. Like anytime we are linked to a player, we almost at the end of the day we go for the fourth or the fifth choice of our list. But things surely will get better this summer, hopefully, because if we're bringing in a new coach to coach this club, definitely that coach must also want maybe one or two players at least that maybe fit into his tactics or fit into his system of play. So let's see how it goes for Barcelona this season. Honestly, as they always say, every football fan is an optimist in the beginning of the season, especially when a new coach comes. Every football fan is an optimist. We just have to be optimistic. And definitely, I just have some strong belief that, Hansi Flick will be a good manager, but I just want the Barca fans to also give him time because honestly, sometimes it pisses me off. Like if the most of the fans are impatient, it pisses me off because normally, yes, it's the nature of Barca, as many people always say, but we still need to give time. If we try to understand the situation that the club finds itself, like for instance, if let's just imagine the scenario where we see Hansi Flick coming and he says, "Look, I need this player or I need these two players," and if Laporta doesn't get those players, what do you expect? Like, what do you expect? That we should go out there and win a treble? Come on, it can't happen like that at all, you know. So yeah, so a lot of news today. Barcelona have been topping the headlines. I think among you will see many news outlets here. I can see a lot of speculations regarding Hansi Flick, and of course related to Xavi's sacking as well. Um, Honestly, to be honest with you, I'll keep on saying this. The way Barcelona treat their legends sometimes is very poor. You know, I think there's a way of doing things. As much as I wanted Xavi Hernandez to leave, but not in this way. Like normally, if Xavi had to leave without Laporta and the board going to intervene and saying, "Please stay. We don't want you to step down. We want you to carry this team forward because we see you as that guy who is going to carry these young stars for next season." But like, come on, it shouldn't have been like that because honestly, everything has just been. We'll be like, had I known, I could have just maintained my decision rather than doing a U-turn in your decision and doing a U-turn on your U-turn. Yeah, that's a U-turn on your U-turn because Xavi made a U-turn when Laporta said, "Please stay with us." Just a barely, I think barely just 2 weeks. Now we are talking another story of being sacked, which is quite crazy and hilarious to be honest. You know, so yeah. Then there's a report also from what I've just a report just coming in from this website, Barca Universal. They are talking about five Barcelona players that could receive a massive boost under Hansi Flick. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Yeah. Yeah, they talk about the five players. And can you guess those five players? We have Alejandro Barde. We have players like Robert Lewandowski, of course, which he knows very well at his time at Bayern Munich. We have Ilkay Gundogan, of course, who has also been with him in the German national team. We have Lamine Yamal, oh, the star boy. Of course, I think he's gonna do well. Honestly, Lamine Yamal is gonna be a great player under Hansi Flick. That's just my own perspective. I just believe that um, Lamine Yamal has that potential to, to do well in Hansi Flick's style of play. We have Pablo Gavi. Oh my God, I said this earlier, isn't it? Pablo Gavi is that kind of a midfielder where, I think many managers like it. His hard work in the middle of the pitch I think Gavi is a beast. I'm sorry to put that, but he's a beast. He's a fighter. And I think under Hansi Flick, Gavi is going to be a great midfielder as well. So I think according to this report, they are talking about five players who could receive massive boosts when Hansi Flick takes over. Alejandro Balde, Robert Lewandowski, we have Ilkay Gundogan, we have Lamine Yamal, and we have Pablo Gavi. I think this report just got it spot on. I think these are players that if we deeply analyze the system of Hansi Flick, I think these players would definitely fit the bill into his system of play, you know. So let's just see. Time will tell on how things will go for Barcelona. Of course, as Hansi Flick is prepared to take over this huge job. I would say very huge job because this job comes with it, I think, a lot of pressure, a lot of honestly, if you don't have that big of a heart, you shouldn't even come for this job. I think Xavi Hernandez, I think, I don't know, I just have that belief that Xavi will have a little bit of a regret when he left our side in Qatar to become the manager of this club. Because honestly, I don't know if he knew what was coming. Because the fact of had I known I could have left this club, had I known I could have not said yes, I want to continue coaching when Laporta approached me. Honestly, so it's crazy. It's crazy. So we just have to embrace the new era, a new manager, new methods, new environment, new dressing room. I mean, I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see how Hansi Flick performs. I wish him all the best. Like my what I really want, right, personally, is I need this guy to bring that mentality of winning games. I need Hansi Flick to bring that mentality, into the dressing room because since 2016, if I can remember very well, Barcelona keep on humiliating this their fans every single time. Like we have gone through heartbreaks upon heartbreaks every single night, especially in European competitions. And we just have to pray for the best that things will not continue in that same way, you know. So let's see how it goes. Um, let's see. Let me see. Then also this report again talking about former Barca boss Pep Guardiola, of course, who have recently just reacted. According to El Chiringuito, they are talking about the fact that Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola have just reacted to the news of Barcelona sacking Xavi Hernandez. Of course, as he said, it is never a good news, right? So going by Pep Guardiola's statement ahead of the FA Cup final against Manchester United, we see Pep Guardiola saying that, well, what can I say? It's never good news because something clearly I it didn't work out, but the reasons for why it happened, I don't know, so I can't give my opinion. That is what Pep Guardiola just said regarding his opinion about Xavi Hernandez being sacked as the boss of FC Barcelona. So, guys, for those who are just coming, you are greatly welcome. Please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please endeavor to subscribe as we discuss on the biggest news of the day: Xavi Hernandez being fired by Barca, and of course, Hansi Flick, the former Bayern Munich coach and the German national team coach, being the next manager of Barca, even though it is still to be confirmed by Barcelona. But of course, it is just a matter of if and not a matter of when Hansi Flick takes over this managerial job. And this video, for those who are just coming to the live stream, is all about what do we expect from Hansi Flick as manager. What do you expect? Make sure you leave your thoughts down below as well as we discuss this live video. What do you expect from manager? And what are your opinions of Barca sacking Xavi Hernandez in this method? Like, do you think it was the right approach the way Laporta went about it? Do you think the reasons of him going to the press conference and saying, look, we can't compete against clubs like Real Madrid because, we don't have that capabilities financially to go out there? Do you think that was just enough reason for the president and the board to sack Xavi Hernandez? Please make sure to leave your thoughts down on the comment section below. So what next to Barca? That is exactly what many fans are now thinking. A lot of fans have been so excited about the news of Xavi being sacked, which of course is quite understandable because as a Barca supporter as well, I'm so excited about this. So happy. Yeah, because I wanted Xavi gone. We all wanted Xavi gone, especially after the PSG mess when we were really up and we were having that big chance to go to the semi-finals for the first time in 9 years in the Champions League, but we couldn't materialize it. We couldn't make good use. We couldn't take that opportunity to go out there and qualify for the semi-finals. Come on, guys. We need a new mentality to this thing. We need it. So, for those who just came, as I said, Hansi Flick will be the new manager, and reports are saying that Hansi Flick will sign a 1 year plus one contract extension. What does that mean? Like Hansi Flick will sign a 1 year contract with plus an option for another 1 year contract extension. I think Laporta is just being reserved. He doesn't want to give that kind of a 2 or 3 year contract like what he did initially with Xavi, because look at the kind of money that Xavi might carry and go. Like now for Hansi Flick, I just want to give a 1 year contract. And depending on how things go, Hansi Flick will have an option to extend that contract for an additional year. So, guys, that's it for my live video. I'm going to be, of course, checking on some other news where we can discuss more live streams about for Barcelona. Thanks so much for watching. For those who are just coming across the channel, for those who are just joining us late, we are wrapping up with this below about the Xavi sacking news and what do you expect from the upcoming manager Hansi Flick. What do you expect him to bring to this team that we have seen that they have been lacking that winning mentality for many years running as we speak? Do we see Hansi Flick to become that man who will bring Barcelona back to their winning ways or not? Please make sure you leave your thoughts below. Like the video. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.